Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream Unity of Wimberley. It is Sunday, June the 7th, I think. Yes, it's the first Sunday in June 2020. I'm going to invite you to stand up if you feel so inclined and set your coffee down. And we're just going to affirm what we know about the truth about spirit. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I am one with the power, one with the wisdom, one with all around me, down below and up above. I am one with the power, one with the wisdom. I am one with the presence of universal love. I create with the power, create with the wisdom, create with all around me, down below and up above. I create with the power, create with the wisdom. I create with the presence of universal love. I am grateful for the power, grateful for the wisdom, grateful all around me, down below and up above. I am grateful for the power, grateful for the wisdom. I am grateful for the presence of universal love. I am one with the power, one with the wisdom, one with all around me, down below and up above. I am one with the power, one with the wisdom. I am one with the presence of universal love. I am one with the presence of universal love. Good morning, Leah McCarn.
Good morning, Kit Holmes. Good morning, everyone. Please join me from wherever you are in calling on this powerful resource. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And now let us unite our spirits as we hold this vision for our church. We are an open-hearted spiritual community, powerfully transforming our world by honoring the sacred in all. And we practice this mission. Inspired by our shared spiritual awakening, we offer practical teachings that empower healthy, abundant, and meaningful living. And today's daily word is joy. And the affirmation is, joy is my constant companion. I discover reasons to feel joy every day, even in the most challenging circumstances. I begin by centering my awareness on the Christ, the divine presence within. I feel love and peace lift my heart, and possibilities for good fill my thoughts. I am joyous. I may experience joy as exuberance, delight, and wonder. Joy may also come quietly, as the peaceful assurance of God's presence wherever I am, whatever I'm doing. My awareness of joy brings a glow to even the most ordinary day. As I engage wholeheartedly in all that is mine to do today, I share my joy with everyone. Through kind words, a sunny smile, and a warm welcome to everyone I meet, I radiate joy and bless the world with my positivity, happiness, and bliss. And from Psalm 118, verse 24, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And now our gathering prayer, Jan McGowan.
Good morning, everyone. Let us take this moment to be joyful. So exhale. That is one good way to begin being in our bodies and really beginning to feel that breath of life. So close your eyes if you choose. Take another good, long, slow, deep breath in, centering and gathering. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him in his presence. Be grateful. And be grateful. And with that gratitude, we know that around us, we feel our home. We are so grateful, our family, the birds that are singing, the beauty in the blue hill country, sky and beyond, planet Earth sky, the green grass, the deer, all the wildness that we can see around us. Even in the cities we see the raccoons. We are so thankful for life, for joy, for the presence of quiet, silence, and stillness. Gratitude. Thank you. So it is.
Oh, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. Gonna stand my ground. Won't get turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground. And I won't back down. Hey, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I'm gonna stand my ground. And I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I'm gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I'm gonna stand my ground. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I'm gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. No, I won't back down. And it is my pleasure to welcome back into the room Rev Jill Carey.
Hi, everybody. Surprise, surprise. What was it Ernest used to say? Surprise, surprise, surprise. I think that was Gomer used to say that. I am so pleased to be back with you all today. It just seemed to make sense to come here and change things up just a little bit, and I needed to be in the energy and even the aroma of this building. It has that little bit of lingering smoke, fire smell from our ceremonies in the past and the days when it was cold, if you remember those. They were a long time ago. And so it's really good to be back with you today here in the sanctuary. Very happy to be here. And it's so fun to watch Kit and Katie Marie, and I can't. I have to keep going back and forth because I don't know who to look at. Y'all are both having so much fun, and your faces are so joyful that that I'm just like a tennis match watching you guys play. So I hope you're doing well, everyone. I hope you're doing well, not only physically but also mentally and spiritually in this challenging time that we're having right now, and also in the challenges of this nation. Kit addressed that so beautifully last week, and it continues. And hopefully it will continue peacefully so that we're all united in justice, fairness, equality, and strength with each other and for each other throughout our country, throughout the world. This morning, I'd like to share with you a story that echoes a little bit of the struggle that we've had. It's a perfect story to talk about our human nature. And the best place to find stories about humans being imperfect is in the Bible. And I'm teaching metaphysical Bible interpretation on Wednesday nights. So I'm bringing you a story today with an interpretation to see if you can use it for yourself. Because if we can't go to Scripture and figure out a way to use it for ourselves, why bother? You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you the story of Jacob today, and I'm going to go through it really, really fast. So pay attention. This is the story of a man that you might identify with in any stage of his life. So Jacob's father was Isaac. Isaac's father was Abraham. So we're not very far away in lineage here from the father of three different major religious movements in the world. Abraham is the father of the Muslims, the Jews, and through the Jews, the Christians. So we go to Father Abraham. This is Abraham's grandson. He was born a twin to his brother Esau. And Jacob's name in Hebrew, one of the meanings of it, is grabs by the heel. And the story is that Esau was born first, but Jacob didn't want him to be born first, so he grabbed onto his heel to try to keep him from being born first. I don't know how we would know this, but that's the story. Maybe his mom knew. So Esau was a man that supposedly was very hairy. He had maybe red hair. He was a man that worked in the fields, and he worked with the animals. And Jacob was somebody who stayed home more and took care of the things around their tribal camp. And so he was more of a homebody. Esau was out in the field. So Jacob was a little jealous of Esau because under Hebrew law, Esau would be his father's heir, his first heir. And Jacob wasn't really happy about that. So one day Esau came in from the fields and he was hungry, and Jacob was stirring a pot of stew. And he said, "Give me some of that stew, I'm really hungry." And Jacob said, "I'll give you the stew if you'll give me your birthright." It's not really kind of a heroic thing that we're looking at here, so here's the imperfect part of the human being. Jacob said, "Yeah, I'll give you this, but you got to give me your birthright." And Esau, succumbing to his hunger, said, all right, you can have it. And then Jacob's mother, Rebekah, plotted with Jacob to fool the aging father, Isaac, who had lost his eyesight. He was an old man. And she wanted Jacob to get the blessing from his father in addition to getting the birthright from Esau. So Jacob disguises himself, puts on a deeper voice, puts animal skins on himself so that he's hairy like his brother. And he goes to his father in his tent and he says, "Father, would you bless me as your firstborn?" And Isaac reaches out, and feels, and oh yes, it's Esau, and blesses him. So now the path is set for Jacob to be the heir to his father. Esau wasn't very happy about any of this, especially after he ate and realized what he had done. And so then Jacob and Esau became estranged from each other, as you can imagine. And Jacob left his family home to go find life for himself. He started working for a man to marry one of the man's daughters. He was promised the daughter he really wanted. After years of working for the father, Laban, his name is, surprised Jacob by marrying him to the other daughter instead of the one he wanted. So we're seeing a little bit of Old Testament karma. If that's not an oxymoron, that's the word I'm going to use there. So eventually, Jacob gets the wife that he wants. And he decides that maybe it's time to settle things up with his brother. After living a life, after beginning to have his own children, coming to his maturity, he decides to, maybe it would be good to clear this off his slate. But he's a little bit afraid, but it's because he knows that Esau can bring his own men, there could be a big battle, and Jacob and his people would be defeated or killed. So he sends most of his family across the stream, so they're on the side of safety, and he lays down to sleep. And let me read you the story of what happens when he lays down. Well, first time he goes to sleep, this is a different story. He lays down and uses a rock for a pillow. Why would anybody do that? That's a guarantee for having bad dreams. So, but from that we get the story of Jacob's ladder. So we'll talk about that another time. This was another night. Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he struck him on the hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. Then the man said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." But Jacob said, and this is important, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." And he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then the man said, "You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with humans and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life is preserved." And from that day on, he had a limp because of the injured hip. And it also established part of the Jewish kosher law of not eating a particular part of meat from an animal that comes from the hip socket, usually the sciatic nerve. So that's part of kosher eating. There you go. So why would I tell you this long story about Jacob? Because the story goes on, and Jacob fathers 12 children, busy guy, and those 12 children, those 12 sons become the leaders of the 12 tribes of Israel. So Jacob is a very important character. He's very human, but he also knows the importance of God in his life. So if we look at the story metaphysically, if we start to interpret this, let's look at it this way. Let's say that Jacob is our animal nature, our fully in the body nature. We're driven by our hungers and our urges, and we're driven by the things of the world, as Esau was. Jacob, on the other hand, was a little more in touch with the mental side of himself, with the spiritual growth for himself. And so Jacob represents that. And he was very clever, which doesn't seem like it was a very good thing for him to do. But he knew exactly what he was doing. And he knew that somehow it was important for him to become a leader. Esau, on the other hand, lost everything because he gave in to that animal nature. He was hungry. And so what this gives us in the first part of the story is this battle that we have all the time. And we don't, if you want to call it your animal nature, that's fine, but also call it your earthly nature, your bound to the flesh nature that maybe thinks unkind thoughts about other people, that worries, that indulges, that holds grudges. That's one part of the story. The other part of the story of us is that we are striving all the time to find that closer relationship with God. And in fact, the name Israel means has striven with God, strives for God, reaches for God. That's why that name is so important. And then if we look at what happens with Jacob on the eve of what might be a disastrous reunion with his brother, he lays down, he sleeps, and a man wrestles with him all night. Some say it was God. Some say it was an angel. I like to think of it as an angel because I like to think of angels as the emissaries of divine message, the emissaries of connecting us with God here on the earth. That's the way I think of angels. They're just a little more tangible sometimes. If you've ever had an experience with an angel, you know what that presence is like. And so he wrestled with this angel. And do we not also wrestle with our angels? Do we not always have a better way to move, and yet we fight it? We have a call to rise to our higher nature, and yet we strive against it. And so this angel, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to that one. The angel and Jacob wrestled with each other all night. And as the sun was about to come up, because we know that things happen in the night that are different than the things that happen in the day, in our psyche, in our spiritual life, in everything. And so the angel said, "Let me go. The day is about to break." And Jacob said those very important words, "I will not release you until you bless me." And that is the core of our message today. When we're wrestling with those angels, because in truth, every struggle that we have is a struggle with an angel that's calling us to a higher self. You can call that angel, if you care to, the Spirit of God, the Christ Spirit calling us up. But it appears to us as a challenge. It appears to us as a battle. It appears to us as a wrestling match in which we might get injured. We know that Jacob's injury reminded him every single day of the choice he made to be blessed by the struggle. Do you get that? He chose to be blessed. He demanded to be blessed. And so, my friends, we're all wrestling with our angels right now. I bet you've called it something else. But we're all wrestling with our angels. especially now. We're wrestling with the angels of loneliness and disorientation and distance and maybe some fear, maybe some dismay about the things that are going on in the world. We're wrestling with the angels of grief. And it would behoove us to demand that we get a blessing from it. Not just, oh, please, God, let me see the good in this. Demand that blessing. Claim it for yourself. Claim it, and then you'll see it. You might have a moment of grace where you see it, and then you're able to claim it. But most of the time, being human beings, we have to demand our blessing. That is an affirmation that everything is working together for good. Everything. And so whatever angel you're struggling with, whatever angel, call it an angel. Call it an angel that is the emissary of God to help you live closer to God, closer to the Spirit that is already within you. In that way, we not only have what feels like an adversary, but we also have support. We also have an ally. And so we have a right to demand our blessing. And many of us in spiritual community have been in certain rituals or had meditations or had a retreat that we went to in which we were given a different name, our spirit name. So you might ask yourself, if you had a spirit name, what would it be? What would it be? Now, for those of you that are with us in the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class, you know that I've made reference to the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation book. It's a big old thing. I didn't bring it today because it's a big old thing. But it will give you the Hebrew or Greek origin of a name or a place. And it's always fascinating to read the etymology of the original word. And then it will give you the story and then give you a metaphysical interpretation. I will also say that if you find something else in this story that I've said today that you have a different interpretation for, yay, use it. My words are just a suggestion. So you listen to the story, you read the story. If you want to read the story, it's in Genesis 33. First book of the Bible, can't miss it. Genesis 33, you'll find that story. And if you want to go back a little bit further, you can read the story of the deception with Esau. You can read the Jacob's ladder story, the angels climbing up and down. Jacob had a history with angels. And he continued to for the rest of his life. Now, next week, you're going to hear about one of his sons, who's Joseph. Another one of my very favorite characters. That's right? You're speaking next week? Okay, later on in the month, Kit will be with you next week. You're going to do Mary Magdalene? Oh, so what we're doing here is, this is great. Old Testament, New Testament, Old Testament, New Testament. So here's Old Testament today. Mary Magdalene next week. Stay tuned. The week after that, Joseph, the son of Jacob. And the week after that, one of Jesus' stories. So we're just going back and forth, back and forth. And friends, part of the reason that I do this, and I've said this to you many times, one of the reasons that I do this is that it's part of my ministry to undo or to rectify or to reframe any bad programming that you got about the Bible when you were younger. If you grew up Catholic, you didn't get a whole lot of Bible. The priest read it. If you grew up Baptist, you got a whole lot of Bible, literally. And so my aim in teaching Bible is, first of all, I love it, but it's also so that we might look at these stories not as something that happened way in the past, that has no meaning for us, but to see it as something that is part of the journey of human spirituality, our evolution. And so every character that we can read about in any part of the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, or the New Testament, every character can be us. Every single one. We can be Esau, we can be Jacob, we can be the mother Rebecca. So there's something for us. All we have to do is ask. All we have to do is demand a blessing from what we read. So don't let the Bible scare you. If you get to a boring part, skip it. You don't have to know 14, generations of names. If you get to the laws in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, let me just tell you for sure, skip those two books altogether, and a little bit of Numbers, because they're law for people who were living, the Jewish people who were living in other lands. But you can look at all of these stories, even the ones that seem not to have a happy ending, and you can find something there that teaches. Because we are all those things. We are all those people. We are even all those places. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today, is the story of Jacob. We're living the story of Jacob right now. We've been on a 3.5, 4 month wrestle with the angel. And so we're going to keep demanding our blessings, aren't we? Yeah. We're just going to keep on demanding those blessings. Because the other choice is to be cynical, argumentative, fearful, unkind, careless. Don't want to do that. If you find yourself on a Facebook or any kind of social media feed and you start feeling that little, where you're breathing in more than you're breathing out, you know that one? Why I oughta, time to ask for that blessing. And if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Okay? Can we just do that? There's a way to express what we believe with sincerity and truth without killing anybody with our words. Yeah? So if you start going down the Facebook rabbit hole, go to Instagram, it's way prettier. If you start going down that Facebook rabbit hole, I've got the Nextdoor app for my neighborhood, and I got stuck one day reading about 130 responses. And I looked up and I went, I have sat here for 45 minutes reading people arguing with each other. Durr. So, demand your blessing. Genesis 33. Read about Jacob. Jacob's a man for our time. So, why don't we just have a little prayer time about all that? And I've been waiting for months to do this. Isn't this a beautiful bell? It's fun, isn't it? Okay. So just begin to breathe. Begin to relax into that beautiful space where the angels dwell, where the Spirit of God always is. My beloved friends, you are right here. You are right here. Your shapes are almost visible. And certainly your presence is known. Aren't we blessed to be in a community where we can do that with each other? Where we don't have to be sharing the same space in order to know our oneness with each other. I don't know about you, but every day at noon my alarm goes off and I pray that Psalm 23 with you. And it's nice to know that you're out there praying too. I feel you. Just as I do right now. So, beloved, if there is something that troubles you right now, if that angel is troubling the waters of your life, you usually feel it right about here. Maybe a little tightness in your chest. But just begin to let light and love and the fluidity of spirit begin to soften up those places that are held tight in you. And even if you're injured, even if part of you feels broken, reach into that part of you that's always there, your humility, your humble self. And say to that thing that troubles you, that angel, I won't let you go until you bless me. And you will behold that blessing. You see, it's not God withholding from us. It is we who miss it. And just that one moment of surrender, that one moment of affirming that you're ready to be blessed, allows everything to rush in. And breathe. Can you feel that you're in the presence of holiness right now? Right now. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. Where your feet touch is holy. Where you sit is holy. The very air around you is holy. And as is fitting when we've been blessed, what follows immediately is our gratitude. And even if you don't feel the blessing yet, give thanks anyway. Because God's good is always and everywhere present. So give thanks. And breathe in that gratitude and breathe it out. And if in the days ahead you're wrestling again, remember what we've done today. Touch your heart right here, and you'll remember. For all this good, we say thank you, God. Thank you, God. And thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
You're nailing it with all those good oldies today. Thank you. I still love it that our church does Tom Petty. I just dare you to find another church that does that. Whew. Can't tell you how good it is to be here. And I can't wait until the day we can all be back together again. This is the time in our service when we have a chance to give back. As a part of our prosperity consciousness, we do continue to give where we're spiritually nourished. We're grateful for the gifts that you've sent in already and affirm the gifts you're sending now. We know that Spirit is working through us to support all that is needed for our community and beyond. To share with you just a little bit, we're continuing to support the Crisis Bread Basket with our food offerings and with monetary gifts. And we have gotten a letter from them thanking us for our generous support. And the treasurer said, "Your support allows us to purchase additional food during the COVID-19 crisis to help local families in need. Your support also helps us accomplish our mission of neighbors helping neighbors by providing food and encouragement. We are so grateful for your continued support." So, folks, I want you to know that even as you continue to give, we are also continuing to give in a time in which our organizations in the community are so grateful, and those needs are so high right now. So not only are you supporting this incredible team here that's making absolutely positive that you have a service to watch on the live stream, the website, Facebook, YouTube. So continue to support us and continue to support our community beyond here. You can also go to our website right now to make your donation. You can text the phone number that's on the screen to give through Tithely, the app, or you can mail your tithe to us directly. And so now we offer this affirmation of abundance. Together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Well, you know there's times when you feel like there's a sign on your back saying, "I don't mind if you kick me." Seems like everybody has. Things go from bad to worse. You think they can't get worse than that, and then they do. You step off the straight and narrow and you don't know where you are. Like the needle from your compass to sew up your broken heart. And from a genie in a bottle of Jim Beam, and she lies to you. It's when you learn the truth. If you're going through hell, keep on going, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it. You might make it out before the devil even knows you're there. Well, I've been deep down in that darkness. I've been down to my last match. Felt 100 different demons breathing fire down my back. And I know that if I stumble, I'll fall right into the trap that they were laying. But the good news is there's angels everywhere out on the street, holding out their hand to try to get you back up on your feet. The ones that you've been dragging till you're down on your knees, you might as well be praying. You know what I'm saying? If you're going through hell, keep on going, don't look back. Don't show it, you might make it out before the devil even knows knows you're there. If you're going through hell, keep on moving, walk through that fire, yeah. Walk right through it and might get out before the devil even knows you're there. If you're going through hell, keep on going, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it. You might make it out before the devil even knows you're there. If you're going through hell, keep on moving, face that fire. Walk right through it. You might make it out before the devil even knows you're there. Make it out before the devil even knows you're there.
Thank you, Katie Marie. That was delicious. Now, as we move toward the end of our service, let's bless our offerings together, shall we? We offer this affirmation of abundance together. Divine love. I've already done that. We thank you for your gifts. Whew. It's been a while since I've been standing up here, hadn't it?
Doing great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, considering I was sitting over here having some tears because I was so happy, I think I'm doing great. So here we go. All right, thank you. Our June Wednesday night Zoom class begins at 6 o'clock. That would be on Wednesday. This is class 2 of Metaphysical Bible Interpretation. So, as I said, many of you have had a difficult relationship with the Bible or no relationship at all. So join us for an enlightening and really fun class that's tailored to your questions. And I've already gotten some good questions this week. Go ahead and send them to me at minister@unityofwimberley.com. And there will be question and answer time at each class, time permitting. Boy, have we got a nice new app. Our Unity Church app can be downloaded to your phone. Here's the information right here. You can get real-time information about classes, services, and all the latest information. This app is through tithe.ly, Tithely, but it's different from the Text Tithe app. So make sure you get this one, and it's really handy to be able to watch a service, find out about classes, everything right there on your phone. A Unity Pool news. Many of you have been asking. We're opening the pool in a very limited way for adult lap exercise swimming only. Please go to our website and read over the requirements. If there's something you'd like to do, please email Leah at business@unityofwimberley.com and she will get your membership processed. Remember, this is for adult lap and exercise swimmers only in the phase 1 of our reopening. Unity Cares. It's so important to stay connected right now. Unity board, chaplains, and staff want to make sure we're all in touch with each other, and we'll be reaching out to members. And we ask that you, too, reach out to your friends by calling, emailing, texting, and sending prayers. Or if you know somebody really, really well, stand about 10 or 12 feet apart from them in their yard and have a nice, loud conversation. But stay in touch. And friends, if you have a need, do not be embarrassed. Do not be shy. Please let us know what your need is during this time. We know that many people have lost their jobs. And you can tell somebody about it and say, oh, but I don't want anybody to know. Demand your blessing, my friends. Demand it. Feed My People donations, you can send those donations directly to the Crisis Breadbasket, or you can bring them here to the church. Please email your questions, concerns, or prayer requests to both Kit and me at minister@unityofwimberley.com and ASL, Associate Spiritual Leader, at unityofwimberley.com. I think this brings us to the end of our service. And so I'm going to ask you now, wherever you are and whenever you are watching this service, to pray the prayer of protection, not only for our community, but for the entire world. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Oh, I release, I let go, I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm on the hip for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm on the hip for God. I release, I let go, I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm on the hip for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm on the hip for God. I release, I let go, I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm on